In today's video, we're going to discuss negativity bias. If you've never heard of the term negativity bias, let me go ahead and break it down for you. Also known as the negativity effect is the human tendency to pay more attention to and to give greater weight to negative information and experiences compared to positive or neutral ones. For example, you and your friends head out to a restaurant for dinner. All of the orders are delivered to the table. Your order is missing the French fries. You all spend the next 10 to 15 minutes discussing the incompetence of the wait staff. Never mind that 95% of the order was delivered perfectly. It is the irrational belief that there should be nothing wrong or we should deem nothing wrong at any given time, but that is just not the way the human brain is wired. How this manifests? A critical comment from a colleague might be recalled more clearly than a recent compliment. A single negative event can be overshadowed by a series of positive experiences. If positive feedback is received on a project, but also one piece of negative feedback, the negative point might be focused on disproportionately. Negativity bias can make people more risk averse, overly cautious, and more likely to focus on potential losses than what they might ultimately gain. Let's look at some examples of this in everyday life. In relationships, focusing on a single negative comment from a partner instead of their overall positive behavior. Now, we do know that there are things like drug addiction or abuse that are overshadowing positive behavior as they should. In work, fixating on one mistake you make at work and overshadowing all of your achievements is a common trope. In politics, negative political campaigns emphasizing the flaws of other opponents, and in news consumption, being drawn to negative news stories more than the actual positive one. So how do we counteract negativity bias? We can be more mindful and aware. Being aware of the tendency towards negative thoughts and actively acknowledging them without judgment helps us pay attention to how we feel when we're consuming certain information. And then we start to notice, if I don't want to feel this way, maybe I should put my focus in a different direction. We also have the power to focus on the positive, consciously shifting our attention to positive events, experiences, and information in daily life. Gratitude practices have proven to have an overwhelming positive effect on countering negativity bias. Keeping a gratitude journal, reflecting on positive moments, and appreciating the good things in life are all ways that we can continuously turn away from negativity bias and towards the things that we want to experience more of in life. We can also practice cognitive reframing, meaning we challenge the negative thoughts and reframe the negative situations into a more positive light. Cognitive reframing is just another fancy way to say perception. This is why two people can have a very similar experience and one can walk away feeling like it was a negative experience and another can walk away feeling like it was a positive experience. Having a regular practice of these strategies can train the brain to give more weight to the positive and create a more balanced perspective on life. So the next time you think about that performance review that you received at work that was 99% positive and had a few overall constructive comments, or an argument you had with your significant other and afterwards you focused on all of the partner's flaws and everything that's wrong with the relationship, or when you humiliated yourself in front of your friends many years ago and you cringe with just the thought of it, remember that you are human and you are wired towards a negative bias. In the sociological world, our tendency to pay more attention to bad things and overlook good things is likely the result of evolution. Earlier in human history, paying attention to bad, dangerous, and negative threats in the world was literally a matter of life and death. Those who were more attuned to danger, who paid more attention to the bad things around them, were more likely to survive. This meant they were also more likely to hand down those genes that made them more attentive to danger. For instance, in a recent news article posted by Nature.com, it was found that social media users were twice more likely to share links to negative news articles than positive ones. Negativity significantly impacts health, relationships, and career, leading to various negative consequences. It can cause physical and mental issues, damage relationships, and hinder career advancement. Persistent negative thinking can lead to increased stress, anxiety, and even depression. This isn't just bad for your overall well-being, it can also impair your cognitive functions, making it harder to focus on and solve problems and think creatively. When your mental health suffers, your work inevitably follows suit. Practice some of these strategies so that you can have a balanced perspective on this beautiful life you have manifested. No need to live in survival or fight or flight on a daily basis.